So, hello everyone. Today is Wednesday, August 24, 2022, and as usual, we are doing the Hindu Delhi edition. Okay, so we'll be first identifying the most important news that is relevant to our examination and followed by a detailed discussion of the same. Fine. So, without wasting time, let's move on. So, three sacked over accidental missile firing, that BrahMos missile, okay, that landed in Pakistan. Fine. So in that, three persons have been fired. Okay. UGC chairman machine based for bats for machine based admission test. Fine. So this is one thing. Just know this thing, that this kind of reforms can also be done for examination. Okay, machine based admission test. Now this is important to know what had been amended. Fine, very briefly we'll be doing that. And we have nothing on these pages as usual. Okay. Know this thing, just know this thing. Remission does not means not guilty. Okay. Fine. You have to know things. You don't have to be very deep with respect to that. Okay. The case of missing scientific India has failed to propagate scientific literacy not only among public but also among scientists themselves. Okay. Okay, fine. We'll do it very briefly. Okay, not to say that we won't be doing it very deeply, very briefly. I'll just read and see if anything is there, then I will get inside it. Okay. Very important implication of 5G rollout for the law enforcement, because yes, 5G and law will be on counterheads in initial phases. Okay, why shaky cybersecurity foundation, the impact on crime and criminal could be serious. Okay, we'll see that. And what is this? Sporting trouble. Okay. Are freebies a way to mask state inaction? Varun Gandhi. Okay. Ultimately, the voter suffers due to high opportunity cost, higher taxes or opportunity cost, and less development. Know this thing, just know this line, that yes, this can be, this is one of the thing, right? And the Chabahar port, we'll do the gist and see what it has to offer. Okay. Chinese tech firm under wider scrutiny in India. The gist, because I think 2 days ago, Hawaii, right? It was it said that it will be scaling down its R&D unit. Okay, because of government actions. Fine. And then we have this thing, acculturation. Okay, we'll just see the definition and try to understand what we can gather from here. Okay, so 3 officers has been sacked out. We'll do this all on one side. Everybody wants freebies. We'll do this. We have to do this. Today is a long read. Okay. Fine. So we are at the sports page, nothing new. We don't have more important news on the sports page, right? So we are done identifying the news. Now let's go on and analyze the same. So here we go. Government amends SC judges rule, right? Let's see what it has to offer. Yeah. The government on Tuesday amended this. A retired Chief Justice rent-free Type 7 accommodation in Delhi for 6 months from the date of superannuation. The notification was issued. The amended rule added that retired Chief Justice and judges of Supreme Court shall be entitled to a chauffeur, a secretarial assistant and a round-the-clock security cover in addition to his or her personal security guard for a period of year from the date of retirement. Fine. So just know this thing that this has been changed. It won't come in examination. Chances are very rare. But yes, you must know these things. That how the accommodation, the behaviors of judges and all, what law and legislation governs them. This is important here. Okay. The implication of 5G rollout. Fine. Now let's see. With a shaky cybersecurity foundation, the impact on crime and criminals could be serious. Okay. Prime Minister Modi recently announced that 5G deployment in India will come sooner than expected. Reports suggest that government will launch 5G at inauguration of the India Mobile Congress on September 29. The long-awaited upgrade from 4G to 5G will allow ultra-fast internet speed and seamless connectivity across the country compared to 4G. The implication of 5G rollout could be significant, particularly for law enforcement in India. Fine. So ensuring security. On one hand, 5G rollout is set to enhance the efficiency, productivity and security by helping the police access critical information in real time and nab criminals. 5G has high bandwidth and lower latency, so its adoption would ensure best performance of police devices such as body cam, facial recognition technology, automatic number plate recognition, drones and CCTV. 5G promises to transmit clear images. This will simplify the tasks of the police who at present often looks at hazy images from devices and attempt to decipher them while working on a case. The increased storage capacity promised by 5G will also allow the police to streamline their investigation method. 5G will allow the rapid and secure communication within the organization as well as between civilian and emergency respondent. With 5G, the police can remotely access and analyze crime data and information from other infrastructure such as traffic lights. But there are challenges. The government and telecommunication companies must ensure that law enforcement agencies have necessary infrastructure to take full advantage of that 5G can offer. Okay, so infrastructure. Even if the law enforcement agency gets access to secure data from telecom operator, they will still need tools to access this data, and most police systems are outdated and may not be compatible with 5G. To bridge the technology gap, the police must invest in modern tools, software, infrastructure. They require funds to do this. Cybersecurity concerns. As many has pointed out, there are many concerns too. First, of course, cybersecurity. Deploying 5G when we have a shaky cybersecurity foundation is like erecting a structure on soft sand. As the previous network were hardware based, India could practice cyber hygiene. But 5G is a software defined digital routing. This makes it this is very important line. Okay. So it is software defined digital routing. This makes it susceptible to cyber threats such as botnet attack, man in the middle attack and distributed denial of service DDoS overloads. Besides, as 5G lacks end-to-end encryption, the hackers can plot their attacks more precisely and penetrate cybercrime by hacking into the system or disseminating illegal content. The bandwidth expansion due to 5G will enable criminals to embezzle databases easily. With time, 5G connects with additional devices, the frequency of attack could increase. Okay, the impact of the rollout of 5G in India could have on crime and criminal is pretty obvious and should be taken seriously. For example, a person could set up a fake 5G tower on top of a public building and manipulate it to intercept private phone call or send fake messages. He could steal a person's phone, sign into his 5G connection with existing account, gain access to person's data or make purchase using the person's credit card. Criminal could use 5G to conceal their activities and mask their location. They could use 5G to locate their victim quickly and to track the movement and coordinate on slaughter through real-time communication with each other. There could be lower possibility of criminal getting caught when they commit identity theft or credit card fraud or steal information from computers, smartphone, tablet. 5G may also make it easier for criminal to perpetrate cyberbullying. Criminal group may be able to easily coordinate DDoS, denial of service, dedicated denial of service onslaughts because of the real-time communication capability between multiple criminal groups. They could also hack into Internet of Things devices and remotely commit crimes. For example, they could hack into victim's vehicle and cause an accident in order to collect insurance money, or hack into the smart home and smart car to loot personal information or inflict physical crime. Security patching of all IoT devices may eventually become necessary. So this is the gist of the entire one paragraph, cyber security concern. Terrorists too could benefit from 5G, as high speed would allow them to execute attack more rapidly and precisely. With 5G, terrorists can plan attack without having to travel physically or use telephone, which could leave a trail for enforcement agency to act on. Fighting new age crimes, therefore authorities will have to adopt measures to hinder crime facilitated by 5G technology. First, the police will need to be trained so that they can recognize 5G enabled crime. Second, so first is training and information gathering. Second, let me mark it out. Yes, training programs. Okay, so for being trained, there should be training program. Focusing on such crime must be developed. This includes identifying potential scenarios for new types of crime and their prevention. Third, the government and telecom companies could think of setting up a 5G crime monitoring task force to monitor and identify new crimes and develop countermeasures. Fourth, it is the imperative to create regulations that make it a crime for people to use 5G technology to commit crimes. Such a regulation could help prevent criminals from using stolen or counterfeit equipment, since telecom companies will be able to track the location of the equipment and shut it down remotely. Fifth, regulations may also require telecom company to allow police officers to access their equipment to track locations of victims and perpetrators of 5G facilitated crimes for countermeasures. These countermeasures may not only safeguard critical infrastructure but also defend private citizens from cyber attack using 5G technology. Finally, law enforcement agency will have to evolve a strategy to identify victims of 5G facilitated crimes, locate them and take actions against the perpetrators of such crime. The 5G rollout will be game changer for law enforcement agencies. It will enable the police fight criminal effectively. At the same time, criminal uses 5G is inevitable. In this context, the recent recommendation of Telecom Regulatory Authority of India to government to develop a national roadmap for India to implement 5G is the best possible manner encompasses law enforcement requirement. Okay, so a very so-so article. I thought it would give pretty good understanding, but fine. Okay, just know these things, that yes, these are the problems. Like it has talked about utility of 5G in beginning, and then it started to talk about what are the potential challenges. Look, potential challenges of any new technologies are infinite, from terrorism to drug dealing to organized crime to things like anti-national activities, challenging sovereignty and security of India, and all those things. But attacking organizations, attacking private citizens, like the example that it gave, that hacking the Internet of Things, okay, so that car can be accidented and then insurance can be claimed, and all those things are there. But yes, we have to develop a roadmap so that such things do not take actual shape. Okay, fine. Let's see what else we have. Okay, Chabahar port. You know where is Chabahar port? It is in Iran. It has already come in prelims 2017. Okay. So why has the interest suddenly spiked? How has the port construction progressed so far? The Union Minister of Ports, Shipping and Waterways visited Chabahar on August 20. Mr. Sonowal reviewed the progress in work on the terminal and handed over 6 mobile harbor cranes to improve efficiency. The Chabahar plan had 3 main objectives: to build India's first offshore port, to circumvent trade through Pakistan, and to find an alternative land route to Afghanistan. A fourth strategy has to emerge wherein the government hopes to provide Central Asia with an alternate route to CPEC. Okay, so 4 reasons for Chabahar port. Okay, very important. Write it down if you want. The development of Shahid Beheshti terminal in Chabahar has hit geopolitical roadblocks after roadblocks. The biggest issue in Iran relationship with Western countries, especially US. So this is the biggest issue here, right? India and US are coming together, coming close, and Iran has a problem with US and US has a problem with Iran. So you can understand then. The Huawei case. In India, Vivo, Xiaomi and Oppo has been broadly accused of tax evasion, discharging illegal remittances, forced identification and incorrect disclosure. Across the world, Chinese companies have been disfavored for providing critical infrastructure for essential telecommunication service. Reuters reported that Biden administration was investigating Huawei over concern that its cell tower in the country were fitted with gear that could capture sensitive information from military bases. However, an outright ban for Chinese smartphone players is unlikely. Why? Cost. Okay, cost is very less. Therefore, such a ban is unlikely. Okay. All on one side, everybody wants freebies. Now this won't be coming in exam directly. If a question on freebies come, it will come on a positive aspect of freebies. It will never come on negative aspect of freebies. This is the nature of UPSC. The more closely you see it, the more better you understand that what are the questions that can come in mains. And trust me, the questions in mains are very predictable. In optional, it is almost 80% predictable. As I have seen, I myself has predicted most of the questions of my optional mains. Okay, and as far as prelims is concerned, you know that okay, about 50 questions, 50-50 there is there at this time. Initially it used to be 60-40, means 60 correct, 40 wrong, you are through. Now it is 50-50, 50 correct, 50 wrong, not 50 wrong exactly, 50 correct, say 20 wrong, you are through. Okay, so this is how it goes, and therefore I don't expect a question directly on freebies. And even if it comes a direct question on freebie, it will be on positives of freebies and not negative of freebie. You will be asked to comment and you have to come with a positive answer, because you are appearing for a state driven examination, not a judiciary examination or not a political examination. Okay, understand these things. During the hearing, Supreme Court on a petition challenging irrational freebies offered by political parties, Chief Justice of India, hearing the 3-judge bench, observed on Tuesday that parties were all on one side and everybody wants freebies. Okay. The court intervention has been met with a backlash from across the political spectrum of the state, many saying that welfare measures undertaken for the people are being misinterpreted in the court as freebies. Chief Justice said that court primary concern is the largesse dressed as freebies. Okay. Should not bleed the nation economy dry and put more and more burden on the taxpayer. But we find that in this issue, all political parties are on one side. Everybody wants freebies, everybody. That's what exactly we wanted, and that was exactly why we wanted a neutral body to look into the issue. At one point, CJI turned the court ire on DMK counsel senior advocate Wilson, saying, "Don't think you are the only wise party. The way you are talking, giving statement, don't think that we are ignoring all that is being said." Senior advocate Vijay Hansaria for petitioner Ashwani Kumar Upadhyay said, "Political party cannot say who is Supreme Court when previous they offer may disturb the fiscal discipline of the country." But senior advocate Kapil Sibal, who was called on to assist the court for his capacity as parliamentarian, said that a committee, if formed, would be embarking on the unmanageable exercise. He cautioned that the court's intervention should avoid giving itself a political color. He said that issue should be tackled purely as a financial one. He referred to the FRBM Act, Fiscal Responsibility Management Act, passed by the Union and State, to which the deficit cannot go beyond 3%. He said that Finance Commission could look into the problem. No judicial law. CJI said that court has never intended to make judicial law on freebies. Ultimately, this is a democracy. Parliament has to debate and discuss to take decision, but to have the discussion in the parliament. But to have this discussion in the parliament, there must be some background paper. This is for the purpose that I had initiated this debate to form a committee. The opposition is such that nobody wants to even look into the issue of forming a committee. Solicitor General Tushar Mehta for Center submitted that court cannot remain a mute spectator to outlandish promises of free sarees, TV, electricity, water. Senior advocate Gopal Shankar Narayan for the petitioner said, "Freebies would be easier to define by what they are not." Okay, easier to define by what they are not. But Chief Justice said freebies cannot be classified into such watertight compartment. What may seem like freebie to urban population may provide for the welfare of rural population. A shaving kit for barber, a bicycle for student, equipment for toddy trappers, or iron for the washerman changes their lifestyle and uplifts them. That is why, sorry to say, you elite lawyers cannot understand. These are the issues that have to be studied nationwide across the people. We have to learn and experience these things through their knowledge and wisdom. This is the reason for proposing a board-based committee, CJI Ramana explained. Okay. So let's see how it unfolds in coming time. Technology companies vary of law on digital competition. Standing panel hold meet to submit report on how legislation needs to evolve to tackle unfair predatory practices in digital market space. The Parliamentary Standing Committee on Finance in its first week of September will submit a report on how competition law needs to evolve for this thing, okay, for digital market. The majority of tech companies which were invited to a meeting on Tuesday, however, expressed reservation about the necessity of any additional framework or law. In the first week of September, the Standing Committee on Finance will be submitting its report on evolution of competitive law for digital market. We will take this into account India's unique circumstances. At the same time, we also examination competition law associated with digital market around the world. The European Union has recently passed Digital Market Act, Digital Services Act. There are several bills pending on the British Parliament and US Congress associated with digital market. On Tuesday, representatives of Amazon, Google, Netflix, Apple, Facebook, etc. appeared before the court. A lot of questions were directed at Google and Apple's practice of restricting developers and companies which put into their app on their stores for working with other players. According to source, Apple representative argued that they hold a minuscule proportion of the Indian smartphone market, only 1.5% in total, and only 17 developers of India pay them a commission. Given out the number they claim, since their share in digital space in India is so low, that question of any anti-competition practices does not arise. One of the members said that the members made note of exclusionary search engine used by Amazon, which pushes for certain brands that may be partially owned by Amazon parent company over the local manufacturer. All tech firms has been asked to submit their responses by 29 August. Okay, let's see how it unfolds. These are news. This takes time to unfold. Okay. Benami law can't be applied retrospectively, says Supreme Court. Bench declare an unconstitutional 2016 amendment which can send a person to prison for 3 years. The Supreme Court on Tuesday declared unconstitutional and manifestly arbitrary the amendment introduced to Benami Act in 2016, in which party which applies retrospectively and can send a person to freedom for 3 years, even as it empowers the center to confiscate any property subject to Benami transaction. In a decision much awaited by businessmen, a 3-judge bench led by Chief Justice of India declared as unconstitutional Section 3, 2 and 5 and introduced through the Benami Transaction Prohibition Amendment Act 2016. Okay. Section 3 Part 2 mandates 3 years of imprisonment for those who has entered into Benami transaction between September 5, 88 and October 25, 2016. That is, a person can be sent to jail for Benami transaction entered into 28 years before section even came into existence. The Chief Justice, who wrote a 96-page judgment, held that provision of violated Article 21 of the Constitution. According to 21, it mandates that no person should be convicted for an offence which was not enforced, and this is related to criminal offence. Okay, not civil offence. So no pros. Okay, so it should not be convicted for an offence that was not offence during when it was committed at the time of commission or act charged as of offence. Section 5 said that any property which is subject matter of Benami transaction shall be liable to be confiscated by the central government. The court held that this provision cannot be applied retrospectively. The CGI dismissed government version for that forfeiture, acquisition and confiscation of property under 16 Act was not the nature of prosecution and cannot be restricted under Article 20. The court observed that 2016 Act condemned not only transactions that were traditionally denominated as Benami but also new classes of fictitious and sham transactions. The court says that intention of Parliament was to condemn the property acquired from illegally ill-gotten wealth. These proceedings cannot be equated as enforcing civil obligation. Okay, fine. Just know these things, that yes, these are in news. And any criminal law, okay, cannot be applied retrospectively. Okay. And then yes, with this I think we have covered today's newspaper. Yes, there's one article left here, that one I don't think it is very important for examination. Still, let's see. Scientific Indian case of missing scientific Indian. What can you write on this? Okay, first of all, question won't come like this, that scientific Indian and all those things. Science and technology in India. Okay, if the question comes on this, how you will begin? Intro can be, you can give a historical background or a current affairs based background. Okay, that the Science Congress held recently, or the 2022 Science Congress held recently claimed for better prospectus with respect to science and tech in India. Okay, and then after intro you have to see what exactly is asked. Then the best way here is to do a stakeholder wise analysis, like for students, teachers, researchers, common man. Okay, fourth, here you got 8 points you get here, 2 points each. A student should develop scientific knowledge okay, by practical and not by theory, and all those kind of things you can write. Then you can get the constitutional aspect, fundamental duty, okay, and then you can end as required. So you just do it. If you think it is important, then give me a comment, I'll come to this. Okay, so with this I am closing today's session. So thank you all for listening. Try to make notes out of it, okay, and if you like the content, please subscribe the channel, like the content, comment and share the work. Fine. So it's time to say a goodbye to you. To goodbye all. Good luck, study hard and Jai Hind. So friends, I really hope that you like this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe our channel and share this video with your friend. Follow us on Telegram as well. Also keep studying hard, keep following your dreams and keep tuned to our channel. Comment below for any suggestion. Till then, goodbye, good luck, keep studying hard.